Okay, cool. So in this one, we're going to talk about something really exciting. We're going to talk about functions. So when you're coding, right, and you write some code, and then you use it, and then maybe later, somewhere later in your program, you're actually going to end up using the exact same code, and you have to write it out again, and maybe you do that again, and you have to write it out the whatever you did again, and you. So the whole point is like coding, you want to take these shortcuts and not repeat yourself, right? That's what functions are going to help you with. You write code once and you can just reuse it whenever you want. So we're going to talk about this reusability. So we're going to go through the syntax, how to write functions. And as always, what we're going to do is we're going to start from scratch. So we'll just delete all that, get rid of it. So what does a function look like? How do we write a function? So in Python, we declare a function with def. Def, I guess, definition. In other languages, Rust, for example, it's fn. It's crazy. So we're gonna make a greet function. If you recall from the first video, we made a hello world function, and then we put our name in that. So we're going to make just a bit of code, which we can sort of bundle up and package, and then we can call later. That's exactly what we're going to do. So we declare the function def, and we give it a name. So we're going to call this the greet function. We'll say greet. Okay, cool. That's awesome. And for now, we're just, and so the first line you've got to, this is how it works. You go definition, the name of the function, and then colon at the end of it. Hit enter. Now it automatically does a tab for you. So the way Python functions work is that you have this first line, and then everything inside that function will be sort of one tab over. In, for example, C# or Rust or a lot of other languages, they do things like that. And then everything, all the function logic will be inside these braces. But that is not the case in Python. So the way we define it in Python is colon and then tab over the next line. Easy. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to print hello world. And that's all our function does. It just greets us with hello world. And that is it. Cool. So that's the function. That's all it does. It's greeting us. So if we run it, nothing happens, right? Like you'd think, oh, it would greet us with hello world, but no. So a function has sort of packaged all this code together, right? But we need to call the function. We need to activate it. And the way you you just activate it is you just say greet. And you call the function with the open parentheses, right? And that should run. Cool. So what happened there was, unless the function is so Python will go along and it's like, oh cool, there's a function here. I'll just save that for later. And then it goes line by line, and then it sees the greet. Greet is being called, and it's like, oh cool, greet is being called. So what I'm gonna do is just go to the greet and then run all these lines of code, right? So you can actually, like, if you're starting to see it, it's going to be a great way to organize logic in our program. Also, that's that. Okay, cool. What about function arguments, right? So you can. So what if you want to greet Steve? You want to greet Steve or something like that, or some name or things like that. You want to put information in it, and depending on the information, you modify the logic inside the greet method, greet function. So we say hello world, name. So I'm gonna make it an F string if you remember. So, and then I'm just gonna put name in there. So hello world. I don't know. Maybe is this correct grammar? I don't know. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna give it a name, and then it'll greet whoever this person is. So let's use John this time. Let's use John. Yeah, and it should Print. Hello world, John. Easy. That's awesome. Okay, cool. So let's move on to some other functions. So let's make an add function. I mean, Python already does, you know, stuff like this, but let's just make an add function. And so maybe pause the video, try make it, but it's okay, you're still learning. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna write another function, def add. We'll call it add, and it'll take in two parameters, two arguments. The first one, and then the second one. Cool. And then we're just going to add them up, right? So we'll do something like this. Yeah? Cool. Okay, cool. And then now we can just call the add. I'm being intentionally wrong here. If you know what the mistake is, let me just... I'm trying to be instructive, you know? I don't know. So we're just going to say, okay, let's add 2 and 3. Cool. So notice I didn't call greet anywhere. So any of this stuff, Python will read it, but it won't call it, right? So I'm going to run it. Nothing happened, which is not surprising. So what I actually need to do is, if you want to get some output from the function, right? You need to return it. You need to return it. So sort of everything you put inside the function, it's just lost unless there's keyword, new keyword. You return it like this. You return it like this. Return it. So in the docs, what I actually did was I went results. I assigned it to the variable result, and then I return the result. Yeah, I don't return. I return the result. Cool. But you know what? Like, it's in the example. I'm just going to be quick and dirty. You know, less lines of code is always a good thing. So I'm just going to return. You can sort of inline things like this. So I'm going to return it like this, right? So let's go. Cool. So I ran it, but nothing happened again. I'm like, what is happening? So we actually need a print. So remember, every time we want something displayed on the screen, we need to put a print in front of this, right? So a common pattern I use is I just go, okay, res for result, and then what I'm going to do after that is I'll just print the result, the res, right? And that should return 5. Excellent. So I think I'm just going to leave it at that. Now, yeah, because there's a little bit about here in the docs I wrote, like outer functions, side functions. So I will skip that. I think I'm going to skip that for now, right? But I think the important thing is, so yeah, you can go ahead and read that. But the takeaway is, if you want something to be come out of the function, it's called scope. So x and y get passed into the function, and then they go into the function scope. But unless we explicitly say return whatever we need to return, it'll just disappear into the void, and it'll be lost forever. So that is just the very basics of functions. Now I've got an exercise for you. So the exercise is going to be make a function. Make 2 functions, actually. Make 2 functions that convert Celsius to Fahrenheit. And then and another function that goes Fahrenheit to Celsius. Now, pause the video there, try it out. I think I've put the solution in the docs, so don't quite look at the docs just yet. Give it a go, try it out, pause the video right now, do it right now. Okay, cool, I hope you've paused the video. What we're going to do now is do that exercise, and really do the exercise, because even if you don't get to doing the exercise, you feel a bit like horrible because you couldn't do it, but your brain sort of works, and then maybe next time you get an exercise like this, you've built up the muscles in your brain to like sort of problem solve, right? So half of learning code is like problem solving as well. So I'm going to delete everything. What we're going to do is we're going to make a Celsius to Fahrenheit temperature conversion. So you've got the full solution there, but just, because I don't like to type too much, I'm just going to say F. When I say F, it's like Fahrenheit. When I say C is like Celsius, right? So I'm going to write it very quickly. So it's going to be, so let's go Celsius to Fahrenheit, right? So Celsius to Fahrenheit. And what it'll do is it'll take a Celsius C argument, right? Take a C argument. Remember the syntax? Now, what you got to do is you got to look online for the formula to convert one to the other. And then when you look at the formula, you just convert that into code. So pause the video, give it a go. I hope you paused it. This is the formula. So if you want something from Celsius to Fahrenheit, so you say F equals the Celsius temperature, take away 9 divide 5 plus 32. So that's the mathematical conversion formula. And you just ChatGPT it, Google search it, whatever. That is the formula. And then you just return F. Cool. So what this function does, takes in a C, a Celsius, converts it, uses this, converts it to an F, uses Fahrenheit, and then returns F. I could have done this, right? So sometimes, you store less variables in memory, so you actually could have done this. And that would do the same thing. But I'm just going to make it a bit more explicit, just for learning. Cool. And so what we can do is, and then we can also do the other way around, right? So I'll write that out real quick. Pause the video, do it. Cool. I'm glad you did the exercise. I'm glad. So we go, we want to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius. So the argument is going to be, we take in a Fahrenheit, then sort of, if you rearrange the formula here, so you remember all your BODMAS, so you minus the 32, and then you multiply by 5, and then and then you divide by 9, or you just look it up on Google, right? So what it's going to be is the Celsius is going to equal 32. Sorry, my bad. It is going to be Fahrenheit minus 32. All that in brackets. So remember, just if you remember from math, the brackets tell us we want this operation to be done first, then we'll go plus 32. Same here. So we want this operation to be done first, then we'll take away 32. And after that, we multiply. So multiplication is just a little star asterisk thing. And that's that. And then we can just return C. Cool. Now we have Celsius to Fahrenheit conversions. Great. Now the docs look way nicer, so I'm just gonna but we're just gonna investigate this together. So let's just give it a go. Let's say so this is how you could do it. You say C. Actually, I don't want to do something where I'm shadowing. It's like Celsius C val, Celsius value could be it's 25 degrees, right? And then I want to be so I want to be okay. I want to convert my Celsius into Fahrenheit, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the variable I declared. So this is a integer, right? I'm going to yank it and put it in there. So we just go cval, which is that. And we're going to say, okay, the fval is 25. I don't know. The FL is whatever the calculation comes out to be. So, yeah, so we can just print that. Maybe we can write something pretty in Celsius, in what are we gonna write? Yeah, in Celsius, maybe, yeah. Celsius. That's why I did math in university. I'm really horrible at Celsius. Yeah. Anyway, that's and maybe that's why I'm writing C's and F's. But anyway, I'm a good coder and good at math. Much spelling, so good. In Celsius, we had, I don't know, we had 25. Converting, we had, oh no, sorry. We'll just we'll put that and we'll say Cvel, like this is some in the fval in how do you spell Fahrenheit? Is that it? Is that it? Maybe. Anyway, so what it is like, yeah. So in Celsius we had whatever it was. This is that much in Fahrenheit. Cool. So we're just using our printing skills we learned from the previous lecture. And we'll just make that an F string there. We just put F in front of it. So we can insert these like numbers here with these squiggly brackets. Let's run that. Hopefully it worked. Cool. I think it worked. I think it's all good. It's all good. Okay, cool. So I'll just say that's the end of the exercise. I do some crazy stuff here in the practice. You can sort of some formatting and all that, but it's just same stuff as this, right? Okay, cool. So you can move on to the next one if you want. Maybe try do the same thing, right? But instead of going Celsius to Fahrenheit, use what we did Fahrenheit to Celsius, and take a Fahrenheit, convert it to Celsius, and make some cool formatted printed statement. Okay, cool. I'm going to end the lesson there, and I'll see you for the next lesson.